Hi, I'm Nisaini Rexash, Community Lead at Microsoft.
And I'm Paige Michaels, a Customer Success Account Manager at Microsoft. We're thrilled to team up with CAN-TV to recap the first ever Hack for Good competition.
Typically, when we hear the word hack, our minds conjure something bad, like hackers breaking into a database and stealing private information, or someone hacking into your social media account without your permission. But hacking does not have to be bad.
That's very true. Doing a hack actually means that you're using technology to solve a problem. And recently, Microsoft partnered with the Chicago Police Department's Explorers program to hack our way through two very big challenges facing Chicago. The first being the narrative between the Chicago Police Department and young people, and the second being the creation of a tech-enabled solution to increase positive storytelling and to reduce harm across communities typically excluded from the digital economy.
Bringing police officers and teenagers together to solve real-world problems impacting Chicagoans cooperatively was groundbreaking and a true team effort. Let's hear from an important member of that team right now. She's the head of social impact at Relativity, my thought partner on various fronts, customer and friend, Colleen Costello.
Colleen Costello, my friend. Very quickly, ours is not a new relationship.
It is not.
You and I have worked on incredible activities like what we're talking about tonight before. So I know it's in you personally. I know in your role as head of social impact for Relativity. We've got some folks we worked with before the pandemic who came in as first years doing Chicago State.
Yes.
And one of them,
scholars.
we were on the call doing mentoring and supporting and saying, just stick it out. I think about Christabel. She knows I talk about her a lot. And her family was in Africa, and she was in the dorm, and we only had the international students. This was the height. And I remember being on the call. Andrew was on that call, the founder of Relativity. He led the group, and we were like, we just got to get her through. And we kept saying, just hang in there. Just call us if you need anything. We're on the phone thread. And to have her walk in here maybe a month ago and sit on one of our shows, and she's gotten that. We said, you will find your group, you will find your posse. And that to watch her, it just makes our relationship deeper because I know it's real and how much we rooted in those dash moments. And this feels to me, well, let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Nisaini called you. Nisaini is with Microsoft and they're partnering with the Explorers program. And she called you a customer and partner and said,
can you help me?
And before you even knew what with, you went, yes.
Yes, Nisaini calls, you say yes.
And that's what partnership looks like. So tell me, why was it so easy, though, to say yes to, we're going to talk about it with a group of incredible law enforcement folk, and also an incredible group of students. And when you and Nisaini first came to CAN-TV, you showed me some pictures, because you and I we always stay connected because we do this work. And you said you were going to love meeting Nisaini and what we are doing together and partnership and the power of connecting with others, because you and I have talked about this in this dash moment. There is no one person doing something.
Right.
It's non-territorial. So when you told me about Nisaini, it made sense because we've talked. But when she explained Hack for Good to you, how did she explain it?
Well, I want to go back to what you said about the power of connection.
Please.
That's the theme. That is the theme of all of this. So I said you have to meet each other. Nisaini and I were actually connected by a mutual friend, Andrew Don. We were able to make a lot of synergy amongst our kind of 9 to 5 work. But then personally, we've realized we're on the same plane as people like you, as people like a lot of the officers you'll meet tonight. And we know the power of connection. We've seen it just from our own relationship, our business relationship between Microsoft and Relativity. The more connections we can make, the stronger we can be for our customers, for our clients, for our communities. And to say, hey, I have a group of police officers that are really working hard to get to know young people.
Absolutely.
They're working to support them in facing challenges in their community. Relativity has a long-time partnership with Chicago Public Schools. All of these things just check the boxes
Yeah.
of, if we as adults know how much connecting with people in different ways that may or may not be related to your work,
Absolutely.
may or may not be related to a goal that you have in mind off the start, why would we not apply that
Why
to
would
young
we not?
people
Yeah.
and allow them opportunities to connect with people directly in their community, work to solve problems, connect with the tech company community, see different opportunities. It just makes sense.
Yeah, and right now, as you and I are talking, they are in another room reconnecting. When
Cracking
the
up.
energy, but here's why in macro and micro this is so important. It is not lost on me right now. We are heading into the summer. We had what has been called any number of things, melee takeover. And it is so easy to stereotype an other. It is so easy to get locked into positions, and you and I know this because we've experienced it together in our intersection. The power of sitting with someone, the power of working on, you and I, which is why I think we get along, we went through a shared objective, a shared
Right.
task. And you get to know someone more than just their title, but you get to know who they are. And what I just saw in that room with lieutenants and officers and young people, the fear that we see far too often on television, that wall between. And I'm not even looking at right or wrong. There are so many sides when you look at something kind of 360. But to see what I saw in that room right now, for no other reason, that is a conversation that they're going to have that I need from my spirit. I need to be reminded, we all do in this dash moment, how there is such power to just bringing people to the table and creating brave spaces, creating safe spaces. And I think that's what you, Nisaini, and others have done, and I just wanted to honor it. You say yes a lot. I know you do. This is going to be incredible. I'm so glad that our partnership will continue. And we talked about this. I don't even know how, it doesn't matter, but we know where we want to get to, and that is creating safe, brave spaces, connecting resource and opportunity. And right now, you and I've talked about this offline, so this is not something just for the camera. It is personally important to both of us at this point in our lives. So that you brought Nisaini in, I'm like, more under the tent, as many
Yes.
folks under
Make the table
tent.
bigger.
Make the
Bring up
table, yes.
benches and
yes.
chairs and
there's no
whatever.
kiddie table here. What I loved about this, there is no wait your turn-ness. The conversations and just the videos. You cannot manufacture that. All walls were broken down, and there are relationships in that room that are going to change both adults and young people's views on things. And we have these experiences. I've had them, and it changes how you look at things. So the power of that alone, bravo to you, bravo to Nisaini, bravo to Microsoft, to Relativity for partnering, and to the Chicago Police Department for this incredible program. But these officers taking time out of their day.
Yeah.
Because you were telling me about the hackathon, it was election day, the Hack for Good.
It was serendipitous.
Yes.
That it was election day, and I think that was symbolic.
Absolutely.
It's this turning point in our city.
Yes.
These are our young people
Yes.
that most of them are not voting age and won't be able to vote for probably another cycle.
Yep.
And they're talking very directly about challenges that they see
Yes.
in their community.
Yeah. And they're going to talk more about this, so we won't give it away. But the
Yep.
two challenges they worked on, I literally went, well, my goodness. If we can learn something from the winning challenges or even the other projects, I think we need to take a closer look at that, because it sounds like they came up with some really interesting approaches to some real-time problems.
And that's the thing, is you bring diverse groups of stakeholders together. I have this mantra that no one knows the needs of the community like the people who live there. And so when we're trying to solve youth-involved challenges,
Youth should be at the
let's
table.
have some youth at the
How
table.
about that?
Let's do it.
It's the brilliance
Let's
for
do
me.
it. And so for Nisaini and Paige and the Microsoft team to ask us to just be part of that table and a little part.
It wasn't even about
it's a
pecking
gift.
order. It was On that note, we are going to get back to the conversation, the Hack for Good retrospective. Colleen Costello, thank you for things big and small. It is so great to see you.
Thanks, Darius.
Well said, Colleen. Thank you again for being such an incredible partner and for so quickly answering the call to support this important initiative.
I'm eager to dive into the conversation with this incredible group of young people and law enforcement leaders to learn more about the shared experience that was the Hack for Good.
But first, it's my pleasure to introduce the incredible people sharing this space with us today. Deja Baines from the 11th District, Malik Newsom from the 11th District, who is also one of our winners, Officer Cameron Moore from the 11th District, Stephen Hurd from the 11th District, Tyler Phillips from the 15th District, Devin Watson from the 15th District, who is also one of our winners, Officer Edward Whitaker Jr. from the 15th District, Officer William Martinez from the 15th District, and Cadence Warner from the 15th District. So, Nisaini, how did you come up with the idea for the Hack for Good? And how did Microsoft come in and turn it out the way that we envisioned it to?
Funny that you should ask, Paige. Since I've been in the role, had been thinking about what would be a great opportunity to make a big splash locally, converging two different bodies, a tech giant and local law enforcement, to tell a positive story. Birthed this now called Hack for Good, which really stemmed from my opportunity to participate during Microsoft's global hackathon 6 months prior.
Perfect, I love it. And with that, Nisaini is gonna kick off our questions to our amazing guests.
So we're just gonna jump right in. Officer Martinez, we're gonna pass it over to you. Could you please expound a bit further on the Police Explorers program? What is it? How do young people get involved?
Sure. So if you go out to any district throughout the entire city has an Explorer program. It started around 20 years ago, roughly. It's from 10 to 12 years old. It's like a Cub Scout program, which is for younger youth that wanted to get involved with the police and learn different aspects of the police law enforcement. And then from 13 on to 21 is the cutoff. We do a curriculum that is law enforcement based, where the youth will come out, we do mock traffic stops, learn how to do fingerprinting to expand their horizons and learn more about the law enforcement field and see what they are comfortable with. And every district has it. We wish all the youth to come out and join. It's a good program.
Awesome. Well, thankfully we have this platform for more people to sign up.
Thank you for that, Officer Martinez. And so now we're gonna hear from two of our explorers. So Malik and Devin, our two hackathon winners. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your project? What was it? What was the solution?
Well, basically, we figured that a lot of teens out there have a problem with mental health, but they don't know how to solve it. So our idea basically was to make an app that could help you with your mental health without actually have to talk to somebody, but you also could if you needed to.
We called the app Bloop because when you open the app, it say Bloop, and when you click on things, it say Bloop. It was just like a fun way to just get over whatever you got going on. It's like a way to put down all your problems when you open the app. You could jot down your thoughts. You could look at other people's problems and you could try to help them, or you could post your own problems and other people could help you. It was just a stress reliever.
Amazing. And congratulations again on the win.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Congrats. Now, to bring in Tyler, Deja, and Steven, as you think back to the event date, April 4th, let's time travel. What was one of the biggest challenges you all faced when trying to come up with your tech-enabled solution to the problem prompt? We'll start with you, Deja, then Steven, then Tyler.
I would say our biggest problem that we faced was finding the best way to present our app. So finding the best design that would be most accessible, since our design was for homeless people, for them to find shelters and food and things like that, so that it will also be accessible to the elderly, since they will also be able to use it. And it was kind of like a way to make it tech savvy, but also a use for the older generations.
Awesome.
One problem that I think that we had initially was the collaboration between each other, getting to know each other and having a feel for what we wanted to do and getting each other's thoughts out on the table.
I totally agree with both of them because the challenge faced was like you didn't know what you wanted to do at first. Like it was just something, it was a problem that needed to be solved in a certain amount of time. So it was all about teamwork at the end of the day to get the job done.
Awesome, and you all most certainly rose to the occasion. considering you just had the day to hack. Back to you, Paige.
I love that. I love that. And speaking of some of the aha moments that the kids have, I'd love to hear from our officers about some aha moments or a aha moment that they had working with some of our youth. So we can start with Officer Whitaker.
Hi. All right. Well, my aha moment came as it relates to me being a father. You know, when the kids first started, we actually had a chance to see them start from beginning to end. So as they presented their projects, my group, which was 2, you know, seeing everyone speak, it actually made me feel like a father, I had a proud father moment watching everybody excel.
I actually had my aha moment was kind of similar to Officer Whitaker. My aha moment was a little bit more inside of our personal space that we have. You know, the youth that we had in there, they were brainstorming, they were working hard, and we hit a couple of bumps. But to see them overcome those challenges and looking for like the location for where we want to have our events at and how we're going to get the community engaged into our events and how we're going to get people to come out and show support within the community, it was more of like I like to see that within the youth because that's where we need to start. It's with our youth.
And for my aha moment was I was there from the start and getting them ready, prepared for it. And as soon as you guys finished, my phone kept ringing and ringing, and the kids were, the aha moment was they were so impressed with the from start to finish of how you had everything prepared and watching them excel, and they were just so excited, even though one of my youth won first place and the other ones took second place, but having the experience and listening to them go back and forth was that was the aha moment, because seeing it from the start and getting them to see what the final product would be and just how excited they were, that was the aha moment.
And to just keep this conversation going even further, to just understand the impact that the program has. So I want to invite Malik, Cadence, Devin, Stephen, and Officer Whitaker to chime in. How has your involvement in this program with CPD positively impacted your relationship with other students? And we could go Malik, Cadence, Devin, Stephen, and Officer Whitaker will close this out.
I would just say that I've been in this program basically my whole life because my parent is a cop. So it basically helped me get more social with other police officers and other students as well. It makes me be more talkative because if I don't know somebody, I'm really shy, but this program helped me bring that out. So yeah.
I've been in the program since I was 11. I learned a lot from this program. Like he said, being around officers who were able to see, like, not the negative stuff that you do see, but the positive stuff, and building and connecting with other students that came to the program was a positive experience.
And how old are you now, Cadence?
I am 16 now.
Wow, so the program has to be doing something right if you keep coming back. That is amazing. Devin?
This program really was like just a positive thing in my whole life. Like, I met Officer Will when I was in 7th grade. I'm a senior in high school now, so it's like I just keep coming back because he taught me how to be a leader. He taught me how to excel, not in also sports, but also like my book work and my social work and how to talk to people and networking. So it's just and how it changed me to be like more social with people that surround me. Like I get the positive outlook on officers and not just the negative, and I get to spread the positive on officers and say how they do so much work and how positive it is, and they don't see it on the internet because other people show the bad stuff and just the bad stuff.
And that's actually the hack for good in real life, right? Amplifying positive storytelling to reduce harm in your community. And what I heard you say was Officer Martinez's investment in you is in building your character so that you could be the leader of our generation now. That's well said. Stephen?
So I've been in Youth District Advisory Council for 1 school year now. It has taught me various mediation skills and how to actually mediate within the friend group. So To answer your question specifically, it has taught me a lot of skills that I love to use within the Sprint group.
And you're using them right now. Officer Whitaker?
Well, as you see, the relationship between the youth and the police is very genuine. As it relates to the Hack for Good, and also my team, we wanted to kind of like archive our legacy, all right? So we kind of approached it as it relates to the team effort. So together, everyone team achieves more. So that's what I got from it, the teamwork.
Awesome.
I love that. And so continuing to speak on the aspect of team, I would love to hear from Devin, Officer Whitaker, Deja, Officer Martinez, Officer Moore, and Tyler. How do you think the community events like the hackathon can continue to change some of our communities for the better? And if you could tell me a part of that, just a little bit of the impact that the hack had on you. Deja?
I would say that the hackathon has made a very positive impact on the community because before being introduced to this program, I would have never really thought of doing something like this. But after being introduced, it has really helped me inspire an interest in technology and science, and has really opened me up because I'm usually a very shy person. So it helps me meet new people, especially since I'm going into high school. And it's had such a great impact on me because as an 8th grader, having to go to high school next year, it helps put a good spot on my resume, and it shows people that I'm able to get out there and do things that you don't see a lot of children who look like me or are in my community that are doing.
Officer Whitaker?
Well, I'm going to piggyback off what you just said, Deja. That was amazing. I'm sure everybody says that too. As it relates to me, I think that the community really hones on exposure. So as the youth is getting more exposed to different things, even as it relates to Microsoft, Microsoft is a great company. So getting that exposure, possibly getting internships, scholarships, things like that. So exposure is one thing that I can attest to as it relates to the community.
Absolutely. Exposure equals opportunity. So now we're going to have Devin give me an answer to that.
The hackathon is I always thought hack is just a bad thing. I can speak for me and a lot of people in my circle. So when you think hack, you just think, oh, we getting into somebody's account or this and this and that. And then you brought it to the spotlight and you put it in a positive light, it changes the narrative on a lot of things. And it's also positive because it just brings people together. Putting people in a space together, that's what we need right now. It's a lot of bad stuff going on, so just need to push the good.
Absolutely. And Tyler, what about you?
I definitely agree with what everybody said. The hackathon was definitely a big opportunity to get more youth out and engaged in the community, because that's nothing you see on the regular. The hackathon was something new to me and people in my circle. So I definitely appreciate Microsoft for having us get in the hackathon. It was a very good opportunity.
And we'll have Officer Moore close that question out for us.
Thank you. So I agree with everybody's statement about how it impacted the community and us personally. One thing I can say I would like to say is that I love to see how the youth were able to utilize their resources, and the skills that were taught were what it takes to actually build these events or build these apps, or the hard work and the legwork that they had to put in behind, that you guys put in behind all your projects. Seeing that, I think, impacts them a lot as well, because it's a lot of people, they say, oh man, I wish I could do that, I wish I could do that, but these guys, they actually did the legwork to see how hard it is to get apps up, to get community engagement, opportunities for other youth to come out and participate. So I think that was pretty impactful for them as well.
Those are all such amazing answers. And I don't know about you, Nisaini, but I'm so glad that the hack was able to impact the youth and our officers in that way.
Absolutely. Thank you for your comments. This has been an amazing conversation, recapping what was an amazing event. This is part of an amazing partnership. Sincere thanks to each of you for joining us. in our conversation and community.
Absolutely. I think today reminds us of the remarkable power of technology to not only solve problems, but to bring people together. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you have a great night.